What's up, guys? Sub-Zero here, back for another VOD review today. Doing a VOD review of one of my favorite, maybe my favorite EU player, Sologesang here. He's just... This guy's always on the cutting edge of new comps as they come out. He's also always just playing good TFT. He's one of the best, I think, people to watch if you want kind of an understanding of how to learn a TFT. The only problem is that he streams in German. If he streamed in like 100% English, then like I would just watch every single of his streams all the way through. But because I can't understand what he's saying, I mean, at least it doesn't matter here. We are watching him via VOD review here. So Solo, great player, and what he plays this game is a comp that I'm very, very, very interested in. This is one of these comps where I'm actually not, you know, I'm on the fence about it right now. I've seen it pop off in my games so far, but I haven't seen, you know, I have not played it myself yet, and so I'm really curious to see how he pilots this game and what happens here. So we have kind of a whatever opener. We open with a Janna and a dupe, which makes us want to play towards some kind of reroll line. Spirit Link, Wandering Trainer, Mace's Will, meh. I mean, Spirit Link feels horrible to take early. Wandering Trainer is very random to take early. And we roll for Song and we see Heavy as a Crown, which I think is actually another piece of this that makes things very interesting. We see Trade Sector as well, which is a great option. But he's going to scout the lobby, see his Worth the Wait. What was that? Worth the Wait. He had a Syndra and friends on the board. Worth the Wait Garen, maybe? Yeah, Worth the Wait Garen there. And we hover this for a sec, and we do take it. It is a Heavy is the Crown game here. We're going to throw this onto Janna. We're going to power up here, and we are going to pick Veteran. This is a Veteran Janna game. So if you guys haven't played around this new Veteran power-up, which got put into the game and they got removed, and now it's back into the game, it turns this unit into a Mentor. They grant 4% damage amp, and at Mentor 4, they need 35 AD and AP instead of upgrading their spell. So it turns Janna into a Mentor. What's interesting is that Janna is already a unit that you're kind of interested to play on these mentorship boards because, you know, she's a strategist. If you can fit Protector in as well, that's great. But, you know, very often you just play a random Janna with the mentor. So she fits very nicely traits-wise. I mean, all the units that get this power-up can. We get a second Janna here, and Solo, he's going to do a scout of the lobby and say, can I actually dupe this Janna, level up, and play for streak here? And I think his answer is yes. Like, this Janna is kind of a beast at this point. So yeah, we're going to level up here, get the Protector in with the Kennen. This is going to be our spot here. We can make Void Staff if we need to. We don't have to slam it yet. So that's good. Like, nothing... no need to overslam here. And yeah, we're going to throw our team into the team planner. So the idea being that he actually has 4 mentor in here. Usually I think it's Yasuo that ends up getting cut here. But you're going to play a bunch of strategists. I'm kind of curious if he is going to fit Protector on this board because I feel like, yeah, I mean, Cassante seems like an easy fit. But yeah, probably, you know, you end up cutting Yasuo usually. And it ends up being like a Janna Kobuko reroll comp is the way that this works. In the games that I have played where this comp has existed, it has been very annoying. I played a Katarina reroll game where my Katarina just ran headfirst in the Kobuko with the Janna shields on it and everything and just became impossible to kill. The other interesting thing with this comp is that you have, you know, Kobuko, who is a fantastic frontline on this board. He self-shields and Janna shields. So if you can get best defense in this comp, I think that is like Gigabis. So we'll see if Solo can get there. He already is a half of Gigabis in that he has the Janna with Veteran, which that is the other thing that you do have to be kind of concerned about with this comp. This is one of those things where like you really want to power up the Janna early and see if you get Veteran because Veteran is pretty low odds of going on Janna. According to MetaTFT, it's about 15% chance. So it's not the easiest power up to find in the world, which means that, you know, it can be kind of scary if you are really dedicating yourself to playing this comp. And then, you know, you're looking like stage 3, stage 4, and, you know, you don't find Veteran. So I would be really careful about playing this comp when you're not in a spot to just, you know, rip Veteran from the start here. So something to consider. We are hitting a lot of Jannas as well here. And we're also going to make the blue buff. I think, oh, are we... I mean, we don't have to make it versus this guy, I guess, so might as well not make it. I do think stats-wise, I'm down to actually pull up the stats here and do a stats check here on Janna 3 with 4 mentor in. You know, in the past, people were playing around like Guinzu's, Shojin, stuff like that on Janna. I mean, the stats like something... I mean, honestly, the stats say JG Nasher's GS, which is kind of a crazy setup. But, I mean, yeah, it looks like Archangel does very well in the stats. Nasher's really... Like, JG Nasher's looked really nice in the stats, actually. And Yeah, Mana Shojin looks pretty solid as well. I don't know that blue buff is going to be great, but I do love Solo's willingness to slam the blue buff here, because I think, so many people would be afraid of making a slam in this spot. Oh, I might not get this here, but I mean, winning this fight is huge, right? It's our 5 streak, and I mean, this fight will 1 trillion% be a blue buff diff. If we did not slam blue buff, I don't think we could have won here. So really nice slam out of Solo. Keep the 5 streak. It's just good TFT, and he also, I mean, he is giga hitting on these Jannas. While I was digging at the stats, he found his 6th Janna, which is kind of crazy. I mean, you'd almost rather hit a little bit more evenly, 3 Janna, 3 Kobuko instead of 6 Janna, 0 Kobuko. But am I going to turn down 6 Jannas? No, I certainly will not. I also really like the board that he has put together. You can play this very nice kind of easy mech board. We even, will sell off the Karma there, just because who really cares about the Karma in this spot here? So I think that's smart. And yeah, this is going to be our setup. He's continuing to scout the lobby just to make sure that he is not secretly contested. We are also 1 Kobuko off of actually having 4 Mentor here. So next round is probably going to be a decent roll here. We can just slam the Gargoyle here, which is just a good, tank item in general. When you're playing for a mega tank like Kobuko, he wasn't feeling confident enough to build the Bramble here. He's hovering, interestingly, he's hovering the Udyr over the, I'm not really sure why. I think he's just frustrated that he can't play 4 Mentor right now, because, I mean, you wouldn't play it over the Kennen here. But we do win the fight anyway, which is huge here, and now I think it will be the level up and roll. Epoch? Okay. I mean, I don't really like you could maybe think of some kind of Psychic Forge idea, but I think it's just Epoch here. We'll give you the Econ to hit your entire board. He actually thinks a while on this, which is kind of interesting. And then, yeah, it is Noble Sack? I could see it. Okay, Noble Sack here. Yeah, I would be really tempted to roll kind of at least to like 30 gold here. But Solo actually says, my board's so strong, I don't even need to roll. I think it makes sense, actually. Okay. Yeah, I mean, this is smart stuff from Solo. Like, I would be very, like, you can spike really, really hard by hitting the Kobuko, but why do you need to spike with the Kobuko if you're just going to win these fights anyway? I mean, we have this Janna too with fantastic items. I mean, I would definitely roll once here. And yeah, now that he's at 40, he's actually going to roll his gold above 40 here to dig for that Kobuko. We actually hit a lot of upgrades here. So yeah, and now we're scouting. See, some okayly. Ooh, that Zaya board looks a little bit scary. But he's confident enough that he's not going to roll any deeper here. I would do the 1 greed roll here, but sometimes you roll once here and then you hit like an Udyr and then you have to like it takes you down a bad path. So I think this is smart from Solo to just stay here, though. We do fight the scariest guy. I wonder if we can win this fight. It's great positioning. The Janna is able to just sit here in the corner and tank up a lot, and I think we're totally fine. Yeah, the Janna. Wow. I mean, I don't know if Solo, evaluated this fight and thought for sure that he was winning it or what, but I mean, it's a massacre there. Really nice win from Sologesang. Yeah, the other thing, that I thought was interesting, he took the Noble Sack here, and I mean, the more that I think about it, the more I kind of like it. It makes a lot of sense from the perspective of we are playing a unit who is going to shield, our entire board. So Armor and MR is really, really high value here, actually. Ooh, Yarvin plus the Yasuo. We are just going to fit this in as a better mech unit, and also going to fit the GP finally onto the board. We lose Sork, but we gain a 2-star unit. So I think this makes sense. And he's going to optimate the Void Staff over Protector's Vow. I thought for sure this was going to be Vow, but once you just make Void Staff, gets the MR shred out of the way. Obviously, heal cut you don't have to prioritize in this comp because you are going to have 4 Mentor Udyr, who is going to provide heal cut to your board until he dies. So you don't really have to worry so much about that. And there is the Kobuko finally. I mean, you must play 4 Mentor here, right? It almost looks like he's not going to play 4 Mentor here, which would be pretty surprising to me. But, I mean, you do kind of have to drop some good stuff. But, yeah, I think you must play this here. Yeah, good stuff gets dropped, but I think it's worth it here. Fine. Oh! He didn't take best defense here. Interesting. I wonder if that's, if he would acknowledge that that's a mistake. I mean, we don't have a tank item on here. The only shields you get are from Kobuko and from Janna. I'm pretty surprised he didn't take best defense here. I feel like it's the best power up you can get onto Kobuko, but interesting that he preferred tank Zilla here. I mean, full CC on the board is good. I don't think I agree with it, but it's interesting to think about. But okay, we finally take a loss here, which is a bit sad. We are 1 off the Janna 3, so I think we'll be okay here. My kitty is being, hey, no, don't do that. My kitty's being great. I left the door to my closet open and she just climbed into my closet. Also, don't do this thing that Sologesang did. It was fine, because we have Protector, but make sure your Janna doesn't get aggroed by the wolves, because like if Janna dies here, you do lose the fight, which is very scary, but it ends up being fine. But yeah, just be a little bit more careful with your, I mean, maybe he's a beast. He evaluated it and that he knew that he was going to win anyway. All right. Let's roll down here for Janna for sure. Looking for K-Sant. I mean, Sante's fine as well. Ooh, these are some bad rolls. We do finally find the Rise as well that we can fit onto this board. And so this is our board for now here. And yeah, looks like he's just going to go the Gargoyle. Gargoyle, super tanky Koboko setup. Not going to worry too much. Like if we were taking best defense, he could have gone like Crown Guard here, but he doesn't want it. So, so yeah, we are going to play this setup here with just a super, super tanky Koboko. I mean, R&R, once again, Noble Sack really good, Gargoyle really good, because you have all of this extra shielding, right? And so you can make that shielding go so much further with a bunch of R&R. Radiant Relics here? Call it Chaos. I don't think there are that many good Call it Chaos hits. I'm kind of afraid of a lot of these hits. Hold the Line's a funny idea in this comp. Does the mech count for it, by the way? I've not taken this Augment that much this set. I imagine the mech does count for it. But I mean, we kind of have too much AP and AD already. Oh, Giant and Mighty? Yeah, he sees Giant and Mighty and we take that. This is added back to the game now. It was supposed to be added last patch and they accidentally didn't add it. That is a bunch of HP to scale up your Armor and Amar already. It's a bunch of HP on everybody. Actually, can I read the does this say units or it says your team gets larger. I imagine it works on the mech then, which would be really, really good. I'd actually like kind of like an HP check on the mech just to see here, but I imagine it does work on the mech, which would be really, really nice, unless the mech doesn't count as part of your team, which doesn't make any sense. But yeah, we've made it to the board. Obviously, you know, the Senna fits nicely on the board for Executioner, obviously the Jarvan onto the board, and then, you know, the Aatrox also fits really nicely onto this board. So, I mean, kind of your standard, you know, mech mentor board fitting Janna, who is your last mentor. So it's a very nice board. Ideally, we are going to pick up this Koboko 3, which is kind of interesting. I'm wondering if we are even going to look for it or if we're just going to push levels, because like we're only 4 Kobokos. It's pretty tough to make it to Koboko 3 from here. So maybe it is just a push level from this spot and add some extra stuff. He was holding the Ziggs earlier for potential just for strategists, which would be big. What is this guy has the best Sologesang just has such good like little like props that he brings in like every single second. I feel like he's just doing some random thing here. All right, big glove here, interestingly enough. I mean, we could have taken Spat and maybe looking for like a strategist Spat, but he likes that JG. Yeah, I mean, the stats really like JG Janna and he agrees. I mean, it makes sense. You are playing for a very, very like this unit is going to be very, very high AP because you already have the extra AD and AP from, well, the AD doesn't really matter, but you have a bunch of extra AD from the Mentor. The 4 Mentor bonus, remember, is a bunch of AP and AD. And then you're also getting AD and AP from your Crown here. So it makes a lot of sense to go JG. And my God, this John is picking people off here. Yeah, I think this might be just JG Nasher. It's just that spell crit. I feel like allowing Janna to kill people is kind of really, really nice here. All right. Also, ooh, what is he? Is he positioning for some kind of corner snipe here? I didn't actually. He scouted so quickly, and on 2x speed, it's so difficult. There's a Gwen. I don't actually know who he's positioning for here, but you know, maybe he just wants to make sure that he's chilling here. All right, the Janna doing really good work against this Bastion ward, just blowing people up. Getting a little low here, but she can shield. She can shield. Look at that huge shield. And we win this fight. 5 streak here. I mean, I think that fight alone is a real testament to how strong this comp is. Like, our frontline is a pile of garbage, and we just completely cleared. I mean, all these frontline power-ups are really, or augments are really helping us a lot, actually. But I'm kind of shocked that we just completely cleared that guy, and that we've completely cleared everybody this stage. It's a 5 streak, man. This is nuts. All right, we can finish our last items. Yeah, we are going to level here. I'm going to opt to play the Protector here instead of the 4 Strategist, and going to look for, I mean, your John items are essentially done at this point. You need to look for last Koboko item, which, I don't know, Warmog's Edge of Night, I guess? Well, Edge of Night seems so bad here, but Warmog seems so good. He's going to make Sterax so we can make something better. Oh, wow. Wait. Huh. You think Sterax is a better item than, I mean, I guess the shielding is nice onto him. Huh, I'm kind of surprised that he thinks Sterax is better than Warmog's onto Koboko. But I mean, he could have made literally either, and so he made Sterax. We're still not best defense, so we don't have like that to think about. I mean, obviously he gets the I mean, I'll pull up the stats on Koboko 3. Well, I mean, it's not really Koboko 3, but Koboko for Mentor, and then look at yeah, I mean, I don't know, stats like Warmogs a lot. It's an interesting choice. I don't completely understand it, honestly. Sometimes you just gotta say you don't understand it. It would make a lot more sense if he was fishing for best defense, but he passed it up, so interesting. All right, well, we're finally gonna take a loss here. We still have a lot of stuff 1-star on our board, so I don't think we have to feel too bad. The real tragedy is that I wish we could go for the Koboko 3, but I mean, on level 8s, I mean, if you find them, we'll go for it, I guess, but it's quite tough. The Rise is a significant, upgrade at this point, so I do think we can, at some point, start hopefully finding some Rises in our shop and find Rise 3, which is gonna be a big upgrade. I guess Solo does have, kind of a diverging path here. Does he want to continue rolling on 8, look for stuff like Rise 2, or does he want to play really, really greedy and push 9 here? He did sell a lot of stuff off there, almost looking like he does want to push 9, though. I guess he sold off a lot of his stuff that he would play on 9. I mean, a Gunblade here, you want to last Rise at him, right? And that's really all that exists, I would think, unless he's going to take Warmogs here and then move Sterak's away, or is he just going to Warmog somebody else? This is an interesting game from Solo. I can't... Okay, there. Once we hit another Rise, I feel like that really tempts me to roll deep for the Rise 2 here. We're actually hitting a lot of Bukos here. Yeah, he's just gonna place that here. So he just likes Sterak's better than Warmogs on Koboko. Kind of interesting. Okay, I mean, it's obviously a huge shield. I think like at a certain amount of HP, it does become better than Warmogs. I just don't think Koboko's at that HP threshold, so it's kind of interesting. But yeah, I mean, the shield interacts positively with Protector, like Protector will... Oh my god! This Janna unit is a beast, man. And also, yeah, he's just not interested in the Koboko 3. I mean, we're too far to go for anything, any actual Koboko 3. It's just, so we are going to be sitting on Koboko 2 here. I mean, honestly, if you know German, I'm sure someone in the comments will be like, this is why he wanted Sterak's. Because it's, I mean, things like these, it's just like, I try to break down everything I can in a VOD, but sometimes I hit something like this and I'm like, well, why did he go for that? And I don't really get it. But all right, we fight level 9 Kale board, which I would be shocked if our board beats that. So looks like we're gonna get, I mean, it honestly was a little bit close. Not to say that Rise 2 would have straight up won it, but it's maybe plausible. And he is also greeting, we're back to greeting, looking at ideal, like kind of the ideal middle ground between hitting the Rise and pushing 9. Ideally, we can do both here. Though we did have to sell our Ziggs earlier, so we don't have that to put in anymore, which is a bit sad. We find some Udirs here. Find a Death Cap for the Rise. That's fantastic. And yeah, just looking at sacking one more. I mean, 47 HP. We are very, very, very healthy. So if we have to sack one, not the end of the world. And, if it allows us to make it to 9, huge. Also, I love this just 4th row Udyr here to try to make sure that he, lives as long as possible. It does mean that the fire takes a second to arrive at the front line because it appears at Udyr, which is kind of funny. But it's just to protect him because the second he goes down, the fire goes down. All right, another actually crown of Demacia setup there, which is kind of hilarious. Roll down here, pick up a Varus, which is kind of interesting. A Yone, another possible, and yeah, we do find the Ziggs here, which I do think is potentially the best last in here on this board. Just 4 strat is a big upgrade here, though he's gonna swap out of it. Yeah, he would rather wow. Yeah, he would rather just play this setup here. So yeah, opted to get the Yone in here. So we are, and also the Lee Sin here. So we're dropping Executioner, but then putting it back in with the Lee Sin, and then we're playing the Yone here. Interesting. Okay. I mean, I could certainly see this being stronger. I almost feel like it's not, just because we lost out on 4 strat just to get a Yone in, a Yone 1 with no items. But I mean, we might cap higher. And Yone 2 would be really, really big. That allowed us to make 10 gold at least. And Lee Sin 2 would be really, really nice. There's a lot of good stuff here. Throws Cassante back in the planner, which is kind of, yeah, I mean, we still would like our Cassante 2 here. That'd be very cool. Oh, and he's also, get a power up. I mean, I think this actually makes a lot of sense. Icebender. He still thinks Icebender is good. We actually kind of have enough front line here. So I think just going double damage actually makes a lot of sense. The only downside is and Janna's for his front line, the mech for his front line. Yeah, if you don't hit Koboko 3, I think this is actually a really reasonable way to play. We fight the Kog'Maw board again. It's a lot closer with this power-up setup, I will say. Top 2 locked in here. Very, very nice for Solo. We'll see if this is where our story ends, though. Maybe we can pick up a win here. Another Death Cap. He's going to move Edge of Night up. Roll down here, looking for some 2 stars. Sell this. Don't hit. He's wow. I mean, I love the play. I love the play. Downgrade and look for something better. Also, okay, maybe he's not that much of a fan of Ice Bender because he gets rid of it. Okay, but then he gets it back in here. I mean, it's not the best versus this board. There's nothing to slow on the front line. So, all right, this is going to be potentially the final fight. We'll see if our board can do any better here. I think we're just losing to the Kog'Maw board. I think with Koboko 3, we could actually win this game, but obviously it was kind of hard to find Koboko. But still, really great showing from this Janna reroll comp. Really cool game showing off, you know, the Crown of Demacia, but also like a lot of other stuff. I mean, yeah, just a very cool game in general. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. Check out my Twitch, my links down below. See you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching, as always.